Join me today as I show you what I did for my front porch and front landscaping summer refresh. Funny thing, we recently discovered that one of our azalea bushes is off balance with the one on the other side. We're wanting to save money this year, but we're wanting to make the biggest impact that we can with the least amount of money. So we're using what we have as much as possible. It'll only cost a little bit of sweat equity to move the azalea bush. I did my research and I know that I have to dig a hole that is about 12 inches deep and 12 inches in diameter. I wanted to be sure I broke the ground up and had some loose soil in the bottom because we do have a lot of red clay in Kentucky, and the deeper you go, the more clay there is. Here I'm moving the solar light so I don't step on it, and I'm getting ready to dig up that azalea bush. The ground around the azalea bush was actually pretty hard and much harder than it was digging that hole in the back. So it did take a little while longer, and I had to be careful because the instructions were to not damage the root ball. So I did have to add a little dirt to the hole because it was a little deep, and here you can see I've added lots of water to that hole. Wanted that in there first before the root ball went into the ground. So a little bit longer and finally got that azalea bush up out of the ground. Also had to dig it a 12-inch diameter there and dig down about 12 inches deep. Now, holding that up for you to see the size of the root ball. It's not too big, but kind of heavy. So there I am setting it down into its new home and getting ready to cover that over with dirt. Had to add a little more dirt first though. And here we go, we are putting it in the ground. Covering it with some soil, trying to get as much of that smaller loose soil around it as I could. I didn't want the clumpy stuff there. So as you can see, raked over nicely. I was able to put most of the mulch back in place. And actually, after I was done, you really couldn't tell that I had hardly been there doing anything. I watered it with about 4 or 5 of these containers of water. It was hot that day, and I wanted to really make sure that I gave that little azalea bush a good head start since I was transplanting it. So just a little while longer, leveling out the ground there, and then I decided to give the bushes a trim. Again, no money, just sweat equity. You all, I was craving lemonade from Kentucky Fried Chicken, and it is out of this world fantastic. I added a lemon slice, and that really quenched my thirst. Now that the bush is done, it's time to move on to cleaning that front door. Next up is to sweep that front porch. The squirrels and chipmunks love to eat their nuts on our front porch steps. Every day when we come out, there's cracked shells all over the steps. I'm giving the rug a good sweep, and then next order of business is to mow the front lawn. We're mowing lately on a high setting. We want to choke out the weeds and let the grass grow, so we do have a lot of clover, but oh, what sweet childhood memories making clover necklaces. Time to bring in the spiral topiaries. I am such a big fan. I love the shape. I am using what I already had. I got these from Hobby Lobby when they were half off, so I got 2 for a little under $100. I am really pleased with how things are looking so far. I love the fact that we now have symmetry on either side of the house. The great thing is, still at this point, I haven't spent a penny yet. I've used what I had, just put a little sweat equity into it. What do you guys think? Do you like things symmetrical and even on either side? I now have the topiaries flanking the porch, then the little azalea bushes, then the larger shrubs, dogwood tree there in the left corner. Used to have a tree in the right corner, but it got so big we had to cut it down. So I decided I needed more impact on that door. So I brought up a hydrangea wreath that I had down in the basement and love it. It does make a much greater impact on that front door. We are going to put the finishing touches. I was going to use the same rug, but changed my mind because it is faded, and the same thing will happen to this rug. But I want it to look great for now because I'm doing my summer refresh. And there you go. Love that rug. I got this rug from Tuesday morning and it was $10. I love that this rug is going to tie in with the theme that I'm going to be using on our back deck, and you'll see that video coming up in a few weeks. Did you enjoy today's content? Then please hit that like button and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.